An idiot.
Okay, cool. Don't worry. We'll get them claps right now. Ready? All right, guys. Welcome to a very sleepy episode of Two Coaches.
Two coaches.
Today, we're going to be talking about how not to overtrain and how to make sure that you are giving your body everything that it needs to progress, which, of course, includes the training portion. But the other side of that coin is how best to recover. Let's jump right into it.
Two coaches.
That was I actually really like that one.
It might be I think it's just because it's late.
Yeah, dude, I'm so tired.
Nah, you're all right.
It's only because of the sleep deprivation. But actually, that actually bleeds into like kind of what we're talking about today. For those of you who don't know, we did a collab earlier this week with Performance Republic. Shout out to Performance Republic. What's up, guys? You guys are awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Aaron, awesome guy. If you ever need any kind of physical therapy, go and check them out. They're amazing. It looked like
No,
they
it
didn't
was
work on us. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Um,
Great setup.
But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about like the recovery portion. About how a lot of times when people step in, especially when they do like functional training, when they see like barbells and they're on the open floor and that kind of thing. They want to jump in, feet first, and just give it 110% every single day.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really valiant, I'll say, and I feel like I feel like the heart's in a good spot, and they want to do really well because they're like, I got this goal, and I'm going to crush it. But physiologically, it's not a very smart way to train.
Yeah. I think what rings in my brain heavier, because I have definitely had clients, people at the ranch, the gym. Like I've definitely had people come through, do too much. I try to reconfigure the programming or whatever, right? Try to fix things up to where they're still putting all that effort in, but they're not doing as much, and they don't really notice. They're just kind of like, yeah, I killed it. And I'm like, good, just keep it there. I think it has to come from the source too, because like, man, I remember doing when we talked about it before, but like doing Insanity.
Oh yeah,
Who was I talking to the other day? I was talking to my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. We were hanging out talking about just like life and all these things and challenges. Bianca and I finished the challenge. We're going to start another one.
Woo.
You guys are on a challenge.
oh yeah. Elizabeth and I started our own 75-day thing. Elizabeth was like, Bianca did it, so I'm gonna do it too. And guess what that means? That means I'm doing it too. So yeah, we started our 75 days on Monday.
So like
It's fun times.
we were talking about it, and I was like, have you ever done, I did P90X and I did Insanity and I did this. I've done a bunch of different protocols of exercise. I've done a lot of different challenges. I've done a lot of different time frame oriented, whatever, right? And like I think about it right now, I could do Insanity right now.
Sure.
I would be able to.
Like, bring it on, Shanti.
Oh, it would not be fun.
Yeah.
It would hurt because I think part of it too is because I don't stretch enough still, and
Sure.
like, there's a lot of variables. My knees aren't so great. But I remember doing it, like, if I had pulled back then, or if I was more focused or more aware of what I needed to do then, I could have, like, modified some things down. And I knew what to do then. I just was trying to kill it.
Right.
In a lot of those situations where I was trying to train or do a challenge. This challenge we just finished is the first time I was like, you know what? I need to chill out today, or I need to stretch and mobilize and do this and that. And I know there's all kinds of different formulas. People lean one direction, this direction. Everybody has their opinion on what is best, what is supposed to be the thing to do.
Right.
But like whatever's best for you is what's going to be best for you, And if you don't stop and put some thought into that, you're always going to hit some kind of wall somewhere.
Right.
And that's fine. But if you're not flexible or ready for that, it's hard, and you're probably going to burn out at some point, whether it be on the, like we're talking about, like not sleeping enough, not overworking out is the biggest one, which is I think what we're kind of focused on mostly, but like just overtraining can
In general.
yeah, can mean it means a lot. And I think when I was doing that Insanity back then, if I had just pulled back a little bit, I still benefited from it, but I think I would have benefited more from learning how to take on that task of completing Insanity safely and getting rest. And, I was in college, so who cares, right?
Right. Your voice is so soothing.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's got a nice timbre to it.
Don't fall asleep.
No, I'm not. I was going to ask you a question though.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were going real hard, pretty much your entire workout career, and then this past 75 days was the first time that you were like, you know what, I'm gonna pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a little bit of a rest day periodically here. Did you notice a difference in your gains in your overall feeling of well-being? Did that change at all?
Yeah, so I have, and I'm sure other people can attest to this as well. I have had physically more substantial gains in less amount of time.
Because you were resting?
No. I have had more significant, I've had more progress aesthetically. I've had more physical and strength-wise too, but I've had more physical gains and losses, in shorter amounts of time than the 75 days. In the 75 days, I did not hit the 10 at 1 out of 10. I didn't hit the 10 for my aesthetic goals, right? I didn't hit the 10 for my strength goals. I didn't hit the 10 for my sleep, my mobility improvement.
Right.
But all across the board, this is probably the first time I've had they're all a solid 7.5.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Well-rounded.
I definitely could have turned it up here, turned it up there. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we're going at it again. She's doing the original one.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm starting the original one. I think I'm going to change mine a little bit. I'm going to implement some stuff about the guitar, some other things that I know that I've always talked about being good at or doing better, cleaning certain things in the house, whatever it may be. And I've written them down.
Stuff outside of the fitness realm.
Yeah. And I'll show you those too. But just because that's what I realized in this thing, I've always put it all on fitness, right?
That's like the one you told me about. Yeah, with the playing guitar. I don't want to give all your secrets away, but playing guitar every day and not singing.
Yeah, same thing. So it's very specific spectrum for people. Some of it, for some it's an irrelevance. It doesn't matter. For me, there's a huge difference for me playing the guitar and singing a song, because I can look up the tabs and play a song or whatever from practicing and doing that. But I don't feel comfortable just playing the guitar.
But you're so good at it.
Stop it.
Dude, it sounds awesome when you do it.
And I want to be able to when I was 12 and I started playing the guitar, I watched a video at Esteban. Do you remember that dude?
Esteban?
He looked like Zorro. He looked just like Zorro.
Esteban.
Yeah, but he sounded like just this old country guy. He was Esteban. He had sunglasses, this cool Zorro hat, long ponytail, fingernails, guitar. He'd be like, "So what we're gonna do today?" So I watched his video once. My parents bought me that guitar, but then I actually could at that time kind of I would mess up a bunch, but eventually over all those mess ups, I could put my fingers where they needed to go for a song that I was trying to learn.
Right.
Then I found tabs. Then it got then I went to music school. It all became easier.
Right.
But those two things are so separate for me. And I think in fitness, I've always just put it all in one. Mm-hmm. And I'm killing it, and I'm making gains, and I'm looking better. My abs are coming back. I'm cutting weight, and people are like, "Man, you're looking good." But I am not sleeping enough. Maybe I'm having too many alcoholic beverages. Maybe I'm skipping meals. And overall, if you can find that level ground, your burnout is gonna be Dude,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. The reason that's so important in my experience. First off, it's crazy to me that you did you really lose more in a shorter amount of time than you did over the 75 days?
Yeah, dude.
You lost 1,000 pounds.
I've fluctuated. I think that's another thing too. Being a trainer, we have trainer friends that we know very well.
Yes.
And maybe they watch the podcast.
Hello, trainer friends.
I hope you do. And if you do, you're gonna laugh and be like, "Yeah, that's me." who have a better grasp on the whole, on as far as fitness goes, have a better grasp on the whole deal.
No, it's because they have better genetics. That's the only
Because
reason.
their genes is better. But it filters in, and the things that hit them, that ignite certain things, it all lines up, right?
Yeah.
Everything falls in line. Mine, I feel sometimes is like a Plinko set.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's 0.
Yeah.
Like, and I really tried. I think I ate all the rices and stuff and all the broccolis.
That plinkling around couldn't have done that much damage.
Yeah. So like, I think
But it does.
stopping and being able to like, whether you're figuring out a plan, sitting down, writing things down with a trainer, or you're gonna do a video challenge, or you're gonna, you're doing like Insanity or something.
Yeah.
You're doing this at-home challenge. You need to figure out some external, like, what is it in life that you're trying to get better at, and how is this fitness challenge, this health challenge, this weight loss challenge at work or whatever,
Whatever's kicking you off,
going to
yeah.
get you out the other side, and not be like, finish line, done.
Right.
What's going to help you get there and be like, this feels good. I really like what I've been doing, and I can see myself continuing on trying to do this forever.
Like exactly. And for me, when you're looking about taking those rest and recovery days, there's allowing yourself maybe a little bit more flexibility on other components of your plan. There's two main paths that it can benefit. One is on the physical side, and the other is on the mental side.
Yeah.
And both are very, very important. What you're talking about right now is all on that mental side. There is a huge amount of burnout. I'll tell you right now. Our 6-week challenge, the old one back in the day, which was very, very structured, and it was effective physically for people. We had an 80 to 85% success rate with people. And they would lose either 5% body fat or 20 pounds in the first 6 weeks. It was great. The fallout rate, which is where people would either gain all or a significant portion back after the 6 weeks was over, was about as high. It was about equally as high. And I was like, what the hell? You did all this work. How could you throw it all away? Well, there's two reasons for that. One is because on the body side, when you lose weight that quickly, it's like smelting metal. I don't know shit about metal work, but I'm assuming
Smelting
I've seen that one show where they compete on making knives.
I have seen that too.
It's
Forged
really
in some-
yes, Forged. Hey, Forged, you want to throw some?
Throw us a knife. Don't throw us a
one
knife.
of the finest TV programs out there. But yeah, when when you lose weight that quickly, it's like sticking metal into a furnace and getting it red, piping hot and malleable. And then you can shape it the way you want. But if you don't cool it down the right way and temper it the right way and let it slowly cool or heat it back up and let it hold that shape, then that malleability is going to work against you, and you can gain the weight back just as quickly as you lost it, oftentimes faster.
Yeah.
So there's the physical component. And then the mental component was we never taught people how to build new habits. We said, everything that's in your house that's bad, you're going to throw it away.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. It's not going to be in your life for the next 6 weeks. And then after the 6 weeks, it's like, hey, I'm done. Let me go get those Mint Milano cookies and bring them back into the house. And all of a sudden, they're gorging themselves on this thing that they couldn't have because it turns out habits can lay dormant. And even if you get rid of the trigger for a short amount of time, the second that trigger is back in, the habits kick back even stronger than they did before, or the same, or if not stronger.
Yeah.
And so that's why we would see that relapse. The secret to not relapsing and to not burning out or not getting injured and having to stop your training are these rest periods that Michael's talking about on the mental side of things, where you give yourself either a mental break or you pull back, or on the physical side, you pull back on your actual training days a little bit and allow your body to heal so you don't up your risk for injury and you don't burn out your central nervous system, and you can train more consistently. And that is, easing into it and going for the long haul is what really allows people to be successful for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, man.
And it's a beautiful thing, but it takes a long time, and nobody wants that. They're like, give me the pill, baby. What's going to make me do it forever? It's like, no.
I was thinking about that too. Like, I can remember when I first started trying, I guess for lack of better words, like trying to find that pill for people, like trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And it was still some kind of variation of what I think would be best for them overall, based on the experience that I had and the education that I was going through. Like, because I knew already from the very beginning, like I'm not into the quick turnaround fixes. Like I don't want to see, I don't want unless we unless we just get along and we like each other a lot. Like I don't want to see you for years and years.
Yeah.
Like I would love to hang out and continue working out and have a good working relationship with somebody that's just like, dude, I love working out with you, and that's great. And as long as that's the understanding, not that I can't do this without you.
Yeah.
Like
You don't want to have clients
and,
forever.
and even as a starting trainer, like trying to figure out my place, like I knew that was not where I wanted to be. And I think what's happening, I'm not trying to dog it. I get it. Business is business.
Yeah.
But there's so many people out there that's what they're throwing out. That they're throwing out this, that. So then there we are. There's us normies sitting on the couch like that's what I need.
Yeah.
And it would be a quick phone call to be like, hey, what do you think about this? And we could all figure it out.
Right.
Bouncing around ideas. But sometimes we get in our ways and we're there having bad habits and making bad decisions. And the voices are like, man, I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better mom. I need to get more fit, whatever the heck it may be. That's pushing him in that direction. And then that fitness thing pops up and it's a fad and it's a quick boom, whatever. And they're throwing money at it, and they're not getting those changes. And then, well, this has failed me. This one didn't. Oh, I tried that. That didn't work. Oh, I did this. This didn't work. But like, what is it what did you really do in those times?
Right.
Did you really work on anything? Or were you just following? It's like we just talked about, right, with the plan. Were you just following this plan, and then you just, once you turned the page and there was a blank page, you're like, oh crap.
Right.
What do I do now?
Well, we do that. So like when you're talking about the industry, I don't know if this is an overshare from the business side of things, but screw it. So in the actual business side of things with people want that magic pill. They want that 2-week fix or that 4-week detox or that 6-week challenge. It's what sales, because sales. Style.
I was thinking like a sailboat, and you were thinking of.
Have you seen that corgi that jumps into the lake? It's like doon doon dun, 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 and the corgi jumps and it goes sail. His belly flops in. Anyway, so business.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna watch it.
I'll
before
show you.
Yeah,
I'll show you
watch
after.
it.
I'll show you after. Anyway, on the business side of things, you have to meet people where they currently are, where they currently live. Everyone is looking for the detox tea. Everyone's looking for the booty burner or the summer whatever lift. And so you have to go and speak that language at the beginning and give them what they're asking for and what they want. And as you develop the relationship with them, you slowly turn it into what they need, and you start revealing more of it up front. Because if you say to somebody at the very beginning, if our goal is to help as many people as possible, right? And you have 100 people in front of you, and you tell them, all right, guys, welcome. Here's the solution to your problem is right behind me on this door. Now, it is going to be like climbing Mount Everest. It is going to be really arduous at times. It's going to take a super, super long time. You're going to have to make some really profound changes in your behavior and in your heart, and it's going to take a lot of work. And we're going to be here for you every step of the 75 people have already left.
That's
right?
slowly
The next
out
three
the back door.
So, the next 3 sentences, 99 of them have left. And then you're left with that one guy, and they're like, yay! But now the business is closed, and we can't help them anyway, right? So you have to versus where you ease them in, and you're like, you know what, guys? We're going to focus for 6 weeks. We're going to give you everything you need to get started. Let's go. We're going to do this together. And then you break it into little chunks that are easy to digest, and slowly but surely you take them through this process.
And it's like you just said, we weren't there not too long ago. And it's not that we weren't trying to get people on that. We just, the expectation that coming into a place for transformation, revitalization, rebuilding, restructuring, whatever the case may be, fitness and health and mental health and all of that, whatever place they're at, coming in, getting them in, starting the path, and then not giving them the opportunity to start learning for themselves and build the habits screws a lot of people.
Yeah, well, that's the most prevalent thing in the industry right now.
Yeah.
We see that all over the place. The really good ones are the ones who allow them to slowly but surely take the wheel and drive the ship themselves from the get-go. You might have a hand on it being like, hey, wait, come left. Yeah. But it's a partnership from the get-go, and that's what we do now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sidetrack.
Yeah, sorry.
So
That's interesting about the business side of things. But the reason that we do that is because from the mental side of things, if you don't do it in that way and you don't give yourself enough room for error in the beginning, then the likelihood of you burning out is really, really high. So remember, for those of you who are currently on your own fitness journey, you're maybe in a challenge or something like that, the first thing to do to not overtrain, in this case in the mind, to not burn yourself out, is to allow yourself a little, we got to be real careful. It's a razor's edge, a little bit of leeway. And remember that the goal is not perfection, it's progress. Try to do it. If you're eating Baconators, sup Wendy's, if you're eating Baconators every single day for lunch, if you were to cut that back to 2 days a week, that is progress.
Yeah.
You're still eating Baconators on your plan, but you've already reduced your Baconator intake by whatever the hell 3 divided by 5 is. And that's really, really good. You're going to see some benefit from just that. And once you have swallowed that easier to swallow pill, then you can start stacking on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's the first tip. But we should talk about the physical side of things. What can happen to your body
biting off more than you can chew.
Yeah, man. If you're in the gym and you're just trying to crush it every single day at 110%,
Yeah.
what'll happen to you? What happened to you if you did that every day?
You'll re-injure your knee. You'll tear a shoulder maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe have some surgery on it. Compensate for years and maybe mess up the good ones. You never know.
Wow.
Anything could happen.
I did say you, Michael. I meant you. Holy crap! Sounded like you were working some stuff out over there. I meant you in the general sense of the word.
Oh yeah. So I mean, as you go through it, you gotta be mindful.
And maybe then your right shoulder, and then
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, you've got. And that's the biggest one. Like, you look at it and you know that you're making these bad decisions. So you're like, here's what I must do.
Yeah.
This is what I must do. So then you go about it and you don't follow the couch to 5K, because when you do the beginning, you're like, this is too damn easy. I don't need this. I'm going to go to week whatever.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's awesome. But what you missed out on these 2, 3, 4, however many weeks you skipped to get to what you really needed, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
However many weeks you skipped, days you skipped, even, it doesn't matter. You're missing out on the whole point of what it is that you're trying to do, which is build some disciplinary habits into fitness.
Right.
And when you go all out like that, it's bigger than just, oh, you're going to burn out. When you tell somebody that, they're like, well, yeah, I mean, I know. No, what's going to happen is you're not going to build those habits. You're going to be doing something for sure. You're going to be burning calories. You're going to be working hard. But if you're not learning something in this process, you'll always kind of, in a sense, overshoot what it is that you really need for yourself. So like as you go through it and you start to overtrain, you're not going to be able to recover. Even if you're taking rest days, you're not going to be able to recover appropriately.
Right.
You are not going to get the gains that you think you are getting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You'll see progress and you're going to get the gains. But they're not going to be the gains that you actually think you're getting. They're not lasting.
Yeah.
You can make some quick progress for sure, right? Think about actors and actresses.
Getting ready for roles,
Dude,
movie roles.
And as far as if you know anything about anatomy or nutrition, like just a slight, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's
Christian Bale is a maniac.
That's intense. I was watching one just a little bit ago about Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh yeah.
And he like when he did Hercules, he upped his minuscule 4,000 calorie meals a day to 4,000 calories a day to, he had to get it up to, like 5,700.
Oh my God. That's so much
For 6
food.
months he ate like that.
Oh
Or
my
six-
God.
6 weeks? Either way, more than a day, I'd be like, oh. So
And he wasn't even that big. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Pops in. His eyebrow.
That guy is one of my heroes, and don't at me. I was just kidding. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love his tequila.
Hard work, right? Hard
Yeah.
work. Hey, he does have to get tequila. But so putting in this hard work, right? if you look at anybody who's done it, if you look at anybody who's in it and who knows, who has experience in it. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
At some point, they'll find that whole like that we'll be able to connect with you on the level and be able to tell you like, listen, this is what's going to happen when you overtrain.
Yeah.
I promise. At some point, whether you're running or lifting weights or whatever. And here's what's going to happen if you kick butt, get after it, but you kind of put it in these orders, and this is what you kind of look at. And a lot of people, I think, don't know, right? So a lot of people, they're like, well, the program that I signed up for, put my numbers in, this is what it says to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sit down, and if you have to figure those things out, it has to match the activity level, right? Like we were talking the other day about, I don't think I've ever before now in the last, 3 to 5 years, before then, I don't think I ever told a single client, like, you need to go for a walk.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to figure out what our next workout is. What we got to figure out next week's programming, all that stuff. But like, there's plenty of clients out there, no matter what size, what health level, like, you just need to go for a walk a couple times a week.
You just need to get
more
active.
You work your butt off on the job site all day long. Like, that's plenty. Here, let's fix this nutrition, and then let's go for a walk two times a week. Like, I promise you'll see results. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday. He works he does, mail delivery, and he's out on the truck all day long, ripping it. He's got his little tracker watch, 3,500 calories on a good day.
Yeah.
And he's not that big, he's got a little gut, and like, change your food, done.
Yeah.
But gets into the gym, rips it, kills it, amazing strength, fantastic, but is in this perpetual cycle of like, just aesthetically, I'm not pleased with what's going on.
Right.
I'm like, dude, if you think about it, just stop and think, like, you can squat this much. You work all day long doing this much. Like, we have to put those pieces together. Otherwise, you're always going to overtrain, even if you think you're not doing enough.
Yeah. So bust out your pencils. This is
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. So when you're overtraining, or when you start training, this is when it's a really good idea. Especially if you're looking at something that you're going to do weekly. You're not just following general guidelines. You're like, I want to get my squat up to this range or whatever. This is when it's a really good idea to get in contact with a coach, a strength coach, or somebody who can help you, a running coach if that's the goal that you're trying to hit, because the body responds certain ways to different stimuli, and you want to be in that most efficient range possible based on your lifestyle, fitness level, all that stuff. If you're efficient, then you're optimized. Beautiful. When you push too much, you can actually start seeing the negative effect of that, and you'll start seeing diminishing returns on your work. It sucks, but we see it all the damn time. You also open yourself up to injury, and that will take you out. I don't care how great an athlete you are, you're going to get passed up by the dude who's going, 70%. If you blow out a knee and you're out for 6 to 8, there's no winning that. So it's better to find somebody who can put you into that sweet spot. And the reason being is really, really simple. Like, let's say we have somebody that comes in here and they can do, like, max. They can do, 10 push-ups.
Okay.
Right? That is them pushing with everything they've got. We'll go and exempt the 40% David Goggins rule, where like, you got more in you if you just. We'll say that physiologically they have 10 push-ups that they can physically do, and that's their max. If that person comes in and they give us those 10 push-ups, and that is their max for real, then that person is going to be sore for a while. That person's going to, especially if they're new, they're going to be sore for anywhere from 2 to 4 days, right? So you come and you train them push-ups, they get 10. You train, they're sore until Friday, and then you go and give them another 10, right? So they've done 20 push-ups in the week that they can do, versus the guy that comes in and you say, you know what? Don't give me 100%, give me 70%. Give me 70%. You do 5 push-ups or 7 push-ups, but they recover within a 24-hour cycle, and so the next day they can do it again. And they can do it again. Push-ups are not a good example because it's neurologically net zero, but just for the sake of the math. Yeah. So now they've done 5 days of push-ups, 7 each time, they have done 35 push-ups versus this other person's 20. They're going to pass that person up. You extrapolate that out over the course of a year, forget it. There's no way the guy that's given 100% is ever going to keep up.
Yeah.
I love this example. I heard this on a oh God! If you know his name, put it in the comments below. But I heard him on a Joe Rogan podcast, and I heard that example, and I was like, that's freaking beautiful, because it highlights the misconception that people have when they think about their fitness.
Yeah.
They're like, if I'm not dying and crawling to the car and covered in sweat. By the way, I shouldn't use that example because I like to be covered in sweat. I think it's a good thing. But if you're not sore and just feel like a truck hits you every single day, then you're not really trying. You didn't really work out. It's like, no, that's bullshit. And there's the math. That's how it works out right there. You'll get more done in the long term and that should be your goal. It's always, what can you sustain?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, as far as what our conversation's about, overtraining and recovery, right? In short, obviously we've covered a lot of different things. It racks the brain if you sit down and talk with any one person about it, even if they're not in the fitness industry. Like, we'll be able to talk for quite a good while talking about overtraining and recovery, right? Overall, I think if you don't come at it with not a specific goal, you definitely need a specific goal. But if you don't come at it with any platform that you're trying to head towards, any general direction, and you're just like, I need to lose weight, which is the easiest one to look at. And that might be true. Like, you might actually want to lose some weight. But why? What is the purpose? Is it because you don't like the way your clothes fit? Do you not like the way you look? Like, what are the variables that are whittling it down to, I need to lose weight? And then we can start maybe finding some other things that we could change outside of coming to the gym and just freaking killing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's great. I like you said too, I love it. I've come in here and done way too much before.
Same.
Yeah. On a day that I was in my mind in the morning, definitely woke up with intentions of like, today's good. It's another day in my challenge. During the challenge, still came in and overdid it some days, because I was like, it's squat day. Let's do it. So like, if you don't come in with any kind of platform or general goal, you're not going to really be able to feed off of any of the information that's being given to you. You're just going to be using it. And then when it's done, it's done. When the time frame's over, when the meal plans run out, when it's you come in with that goal, you start to build the plan. All the while, you're trying these things that are new to you, right? You're trying these fitness things, whether it's an at-home program or whatever. But if you're not being mindful and keeping that direction driven on which your goals were, it's real easy to lose sight of it. And they might change, right? You were talking about being flexible. When we were with Performance Republic, when we were talking with Aaron, we were talking about our pillars, right? The TF trifecta. Right, and we were talking about food, fitness, and focus, and I was telling you guys, like, the flexibility aspect of it is huge, and you can't give that to yourself, being like, well, I have to be flexible. It's okay that I don't really do this or I don't really do that. Yeah. No. I'm talking about the life stuff. You know what I mean? When you have this meal plan and this food program, and then all of a sudden you hit a wall, which is so and so's family get together, or I'm going out of town, or I lost my job, or whatever the thing may be, right? Yeah. Being flexible fits into those categories. It doesn't fit into you falling off of your goals, of your plan, of your program, right? So if you come in blind, you're not going to be able to build that at all. But if you do get past that phase and you work with somebody, and you don't know what it is and you figure them all out and you build that plan, you have to do your very best to follow that. Yeah. And if you're not guided in the right direction, it's real easy to overtrain and not recover enough.
Yeah, and build that flexibility into that plan. Yeah. Your plan should have rest days in it, or days with varying intensity. Like one of the things that we do with our people, we program for 6 days a week. I would love everybody to come 6 days a week, but that doesn't mean I want everyone coming and busting their ass every single day. Mm-hmm. I would rather them like pick 1 or 2 days where they're like, you know what, these are the days I'm really going to kill it. I'm going to come and I'm going to give 90 to 95% on these days. And then there's other days where I'm going to give a good solid 80%. And then there's going to be like Wednesday or Thursday when I'm just, I'm tired, I'm smoked, where I'm going to pull back a lot. I'm going to give, 50, maybe 50%. For everyone out there that's listening, the biggest thing that helped me get over this was shifting my mentality first, and then shifting my focus. So the first thing I had to do was shift the preconceived notion that if I'm not destroying my body, that I'm not really trying. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is just straight. It's a lie. If you talk to anybody who has gotten any real results, they will sing from the mountaintops about how important the recovery phase is, and how you need to make sure that that is calculated into your plan.
Yeah.
So make sure that you go into it expecting to be able to rest and feel good.
Yeah.
Right. You should be sore some days. Some days are going to suck and some days are going to hurt. But it should not be all the time.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, aside from changing the expectation of what you're supposed to be feeling, is make sure that when you are going through your your plan and going through your program, that you will have built-in flexibility where you can, if something doesn't go quite right in the week, you have a flexible day built in there where you're like, well, I know that I have this day where I could eat a little bit more freely, or I have this day where I can train a little bit less, and be able to move that around. Have that in there and be ready to use it, because it's what'll keep you in the fight and on track, as opposed to, I fucked it. We're trying not to drop F-bombs as much.
Have you been dropping F-bombs?
Oh yeah,
I don't think I've dropped one F-bomb.
I can't
Have I
remember.
dropped it?
I can't remember how many. But you're like, I fucked it up, and now I'm done.
Yeah.
Now I'm done. Now
Wait.
you know what? I'll start again on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking in the car yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday? When did we go do that? The collab?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So when we were driving back,
Yeah.
remember? The big reoccurring thing. We were talking about goals and all this, that, the
Yeah.
challenge coming up.
It was a good
But,
talk.
the biggest thing that was yes, and that I know when you hear it, everyone else they're gonna be like, yeah, that's true. You have got to, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard, especially depending on how far in which direction you are, whether it's the poor nutrition direction, or if it's the lazy direction, or overworked direction, or whatever the heck it is that's keeping you from getting your overall universal health and wellness within yourself. Whether it's whatever you're missing, whatever the pieces are, getting all those balanced. If you're not being honest with yourself, you've got to be real. You have got to be honest with yourself. And be like, yeah, you know what? If I do it this way, I'm going to be a big old quitter in 2 days.
Yep.
I know I will.
Yep.
And you don't have to tell anybody that. You just have to write it down somewhere, tell somebody you really care about, whatever the heck it is.
Be honest with the person that's helping you.
Be freaking honest.
Yeah.
And then we can work from that. That's fine. If I lay out all of this stuff for you, if I give you this whole plan, and then you're straight up like, yeah, I'm not going to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
At least I freaking know how to adjust
Right.
and what we can do to still get you some success. Obviously, this is what's going to get you this buku gain goal success. I'm going to get you there.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to help each other. And by this time, you're going to be all on your own and be easy. Peace out. Well, I can't do this, this, and this, or I'm not going to, or hey, I'm not going to do any of that. Then at least we can figure something out. But
Yeah.
me being honest.
Find something that you can do.
And me being honest, too,
Yeah.
as a trainer, too, being like, well, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just so you know. We cool with this? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. And maybe something clicks. Maybe something changes in a better direction for everybody. But if you're not being honest with yourself, man, you're always going to shoot yourself in the foot when it comes down to whatever the goals are in those pillars of health that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's mental, emotional, whether you're not stretching enough, sleeping enough, overtraining, whatever the thing may be, you're never going to get any better at it if you're not being real. Okay, you know what? I'm working on all these things, but you're still overdoing it in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? Great. Your gains are great. People are seeing it. It's fantastic. But are you doing what you said you wanted to do? Are you being for real about your
Right.
plan, your goals, and your action? Remember, we were talking with Aaron over there too about ready, willing, and able.
Yeah. That's exactly what you made me think of.
That's
right
what I
now.
was thinking about. Well, as I was saying it, I was like, oh, that's just
That's ready, willing, able mentality.
And we work with that too. Thanks, man. That's good. But we work that with a lot of our clients too.
Yeah.
And I don't think we used to in the very beginning.
No, I think the biggest thing is don't try to focus on what you can do on a given day. That's not as important as focusing on what you can sustain for the long term. Yeah, you can come out here and you can deadlift. I could go deadlift a couple of sets of 405 and just really wreck my posterior chain. But if that doesn't fit somehow into the grander scheme of what I'm trying to maintain and sustain for the long term, and it's going to jack up the rest of my week and everything else that I wanted to do and train, then that's a worthless day.
Yeah.
And yeah, cool. I had a hard deadlift day, and I was like, yeah, bro 5, but I've now officially shot myself in the foot for everything else that I wanted to do, and it's not a worthwhile trade. Focus on what you can sustain, not what you can put out on a given day.
Yeah. Save that for when you really need it.
Yeah, competition, something like that. Ramp up to it, whatever.
No. If you can figure out what level of, if you take a step back from the at-home program or the templates that you're using or the whatever, just take a step back and be like, all right, what is my overall functionality? What is it that I want to be able to do? What is it that I don't do now that I want to be able to do? It doesn't have to be just physical, right? Sometimes it's real simple because you're like, dude, I want to get up these stairs without feeling like I'm going to pass out. I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one to have because it's very noticeable every day you walk up the stairs. But if you can find those out and you're like, all right, this is what I need to do. This is what I want for my functionality. Then it makes it a little bit easier at least to know how obvious it is, at least how you're going to be able to avoid shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah. Like how easy it is.
It's freaking beautiful, man. And guys, if you want to, if you ever need a program that is tailored like that, where we look at we walk through your individual goals and the habits that you currently have, and want to look at specifically what your journey is and where you want it to go, then look us up. That's exactly what we do. We've learned a lot from those cookie cutter approaches. We've learned a lot from the way that we've helped our members, and it just there's a very cool method now behind kind of revealing what that is and making it for each and every single person. So if you need anything like that, let us know.
Definitely. Let us know. I was thinking that in my head, we're still working on it, and we'll continue to work on it probably till the day we die.
Forever.
But we are now, I feel, ready, willing, and able to help someone else, and that's what we've been doing, to help someone else figure out what they're ready, willing, and able to do, as far as health and fitness goes.
Yeah.
And then we'll bounce around ideas, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, awesome.
Sweet.
Well,
thanks for coming in.
We're gonna go to bed.
Not together.
Not together.
You could just say things like that.
Don't take that out of context.
Everyone's gonna think that now.
You're gonna go home to your lovely wife. I'm gonna go home to my lovely wife, and we're gonna go to bed.
Thank you, and good night.
Damn it, that's recorded forever now.
Two coaches. Got a little weird.
Two coaches after dark.
I was going to say that
in
the very beginning when you were like, we are so tired. And I was going to be like, yeah, two coaches after dark. But obviously that would have derailed the conversation even more.
Man. No, for fucking being as all over the place as we are right now mentally.
Not too bad.
No, we stayed on track pretty good. We're gonna go to bed.
Join us next
Son of a bitch.
We're gonna go to bed. I'm glad you didn't say it with any more inflection whatsoever.
No, I felt I feel like it was very matter of fact. Like
I was like, we're going to sleep, fool.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna go to bed.
I made it weird.
I didn't even
here, and then I let that get out. I was like, "He trying to go to bed with me?"
Are you ready, willing, and able, Michael?
I'm ready.
I'm definitely able. I don't know about the willing. That's the part that's gonna. All right, let's actually get out of here.
Nice.
I'm leaving all that in.
Yeah.